There's a new dedicated handheld on the market, and this is called the Chromatic. And this is considered to be by Modretro the ultimate cartridge-based handheld system. I'm going to test it. They offer a new library of Game Boy cartridges. This essentially is a replacement for a Game Boy Color made with premium parts, magnesium alloy case, a sapphire crystal display cover, the most scratch-proof display possible, video out over USB, and so there's lots of cool things that come included with the first edition, including that Tetris Chromatic cart, which I'm going to show, and you can challenge friends face to face using a link cable. It's powered by AA batteries, as well as an upcoming rechargeable pack, which isn't included. But here is that Chromatic Tetris cart that comes bundled with it. Fantastic. And so the alloy case is really tough and it's slick looking. And there's the USB-C cable that you plug into a computer. This, I'll show you the display and how that works. Comes with batteries, and it takes standard AA batteries, so that's pretty awesome. And so there's lots of different things that you will like about this. It is a $200 bundle for the first edition. I think they'll offer other bundles as time goes on. Here is the Tetris Chromatic cart that comes bundled with it. This is a new version of Tetris, and it's got some cool things. Here's marathon mode, just showing you this, and looks and plays great. Everything about this feels premium. This is not like a cheap knockoff. And so that $200 price point is going to scare away some people and make people wonder, well, shouldn't I just go with an analog? Anyways, I did test the Tetris Chromatic cart using the Super Game Boy, and even though it does play, there's no sound. It didn't say it was going to play. I just had to test it myself. Just thought I should throw this in, as I love my Super Game Boy. So it's kind of cool. It still plays, though it's made for Game Boy Color compatible systems. Here are all the features. When you press the side button on the Chromatic, you can go into the different display brightness, frame blend, color correction, lots of different things. I'm actually showing the footage of how this looks if you connect it to a PC. And so no sound yet on that feature, but they're working on it. You can use a standard 3.5mm audio jack and get sound that way directly through your computer. By the way, if you like my reviews and like my videos, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. Here it is compared to a Game Boy Color. It's a little bit thicker, but wanted to show kind of how awesome that screen is. And that screen dimension, 160 by 144, sunlight readable display, 2 5/6 inch display. It looks nice. It's not as big as the analog Pocket, which this is going to be compared to because of that price point, at least for the first run. I think the actual unit will be a little bit cheaper and will offer some separate bundles that might be cheaper down the road. But right now, this is what you can get on the website, link below. And you also, this is going to be available, I do believe, at GameStop. So your local GameStop will carry this. I wanted to show how the screen compares, how it looks, brightness. I'm going to test a bunch of different games, and here we go. So the big thing is, does it work with flash carts? I was told it was compatible with EverDrive and Easy Flash. I don't have an EverDrive Game Boy cart, but I have an Easy Flash Junior, and wanted to show that working here. This is not compatible with Game Boy Advance carts, so that is a disadvantage versus the analog Pocket, but it is a dedicated handheld. But I wanted to show what this could do, how it looks, the best I could. And so I did update my Easy Flash cart with the 4th firmware. The 5th one is no longer available, and so wanted to show that, and unfortunately it's not working. The good news is that Modretro is aware of this, and they are going to work on getting a solution with hopefully an updated firmware, which this does have. Now here's a multitude of different Game Boy Color games. They look fantastic on the screen. It really pops, really nice display. It's a perfect size too. And so it is a little heavier than a Game Boy. It's not made of cheap plastic. That magnesium alloy shell is awesome. They really are going for a premium product here, and you know, for so many different handhelds on the market, there's a lot of cheap ones out there that are emulate handhelds and do different things. This is something a little different. Just showing some different Game Boy Color games that I had lying around and wanted to say, hey, this is what it looks like on the screen. It really pops. Really has a nice display. The control pad and buttons were very responsive. So this is just, to me, this is well done. The question is, why would you get this over an analog pocket? I don't have an answer for that. I think this needs to get the Easy Flash compatible. I did not test it with an EverDrive card. I was told that it is compatible with that. So just know that they're working on that, hopefully, fingers crossed. I'm just showing some different games that I had, and it's working with a multitude of different Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now, if you are more into Game Boy Advance, then you may want to look at the Analog Pocket. But you know what, if you're looking for something a little different and has premium quality with a video out option, it's pretty sweet that it has that right out of the get-go. You don't need a dock or anything, and so they know that people would be using this for streaming and video capture. So they're going to be working on that feature, hopefully, and get it more updated as time goes on. But this is just the first edition. This is where it is right now, and so, you know, just throwing a multitude of different carts at it. Batman, I always show Batman on any handheld or Game Boy compatible system, as, you know what, huge fan of this original release. Played this a lot, and it's just fantastic. Super Mario Land 2, one of my favorite Game Boy games of all time. Absolutely love this release. Just puts a smile to my face. Really enjoy it, and looks wonderful on here. Has that, you know, the Game Boy Color option, adds limited color palette to original Game Boy games. And played imports. This is an import Quarth that I had lying around. I do believe I got this in Canada at a previous Vancouver Retro Gaming Expo. Love that show. And yeah, just wanted to show it here. So in the comments, what do you think? Here's a multi-cart that I had. So it was playing, it does play multi-carts. It just, for whatever reason, didn't play Easy Flash yet. Hopefully that can get fixed. But yeah, I know for some people that's going to matter. I think that's the question people are always going to ask. I didn't have any additional hardware to test lying around, but I wanted to test with some homebrews. Infinitron is a Robotron style homebrew by Mad Cats. Offered this long ago. It is not available anymore. Here's a Pirate, Spud's Venture. Played that fine. So, you know what, it played a multitude of the carts, no problem. Just the one issue I had was Easy Flash. Kudzu, this is actually a homebrew by Mad Cats, offered right now. And so it's well done, you know, a Zelda-style adventure game. Fantastic. So if you want to find out more about Modretro and what they offer chromatic carts and different colored handhelds. This was a Leaf edition that I showed, but there's different colors. You can go to the website where it goes into detail about all the details and information to order this now. And thank you so much for viewing this video. If you like what you see, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell, as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. This is the Immortal John Hancock, and you take care.